Good afternoon, Hawk Radio. Welcome to episode 4 of Emily's Playhouse. I am Emily. So it is the first day of February. That's really exciting. New month, new me. So this past week was 𝘚𝘩𝘪𝘭𝘺 Parade of Pirates, and that was a week from tomorrow, last Saturday. And I went with local news station WFLA News Channel 8, and I got to help set up because they broadcast the parade live, and it was a really cool experience. It was freezing cold, but it was really cool. It was an all-day shoot. I got there at like 6:30, and then we drove through Bayshore traffic and got there around 7 or 7:30ish, and we just set up, and then we waited for the parade to start in the afternoon, and there was catering, and I got to like test out microphones and stuff and play with some chords and change batteries. I did a lot. I set up a satellite. That was pretty cool. I felt like an astronaut. And we got to watch the parade from a really awesome view. I don't know if we were near the front, but we were like midway, and it was really cool. I saw Mario Lopez. He was the Grand Marshal, and he ate a banana at me. I have video of it. And Jon Stewart was there too, of one of the late night shows. And it was awesome. I love 𝘚𝘩𝘪𝘭𝘺. I don't like the aftermath of 𝘚𝘩𝘪𝘭𝘺, but it's really cool. I love going. And then what else happened? I went to Disney the next day. I was really sore from all the beads carrying on my shoulders. I got a lot of beads. And people love interns. They were like, "For the intern," and they were throwing me beads while I was trying to like hold cables at 𝘚𝘩𝘪𝘭𝘺. I was like, "Oh my god, thank you." But then I went to Disney with some of my Rocky castmates, Pablo and Allison and Puck, and it was pouring rain. We went to Hollywood Studios. Nobody was there. I've never seen anything like it. It's freezing cold. It was probably in the 40s, 50s. And we were wearing our hoodies and long sleeves and ponchos, and our socks were wet, and our shoes were filled with water, saturated. And we just rode everything. I mean, Hollywood Studios is kind of under construction right now, so there's not a whole lot to ride. But we rode everything. We went on Star Tours like 3 times in a row, and I was a rebel spy, which comes as no surprise to anyone. And we rode my favorite rock and roller coaster. We went on like 5 times, and at one point they just left the doors to the pre-show open, because you go into this like recording studio room for the pre-show. At one point they just left the doors open so we could just get back on the ride. We went on like 5 times in a row. It was a walk-on. I've never experienced anything like it. But it was a Sunday, so everything did close early. We ended up going to Epcot because they have, for annual pass holders, they have complimentary Figment magnets for like your car and whatnot. And we got ours because we're annual pass holders, and but everything was closed. It was like 9 o'clock, and Club Pool was closed, and the Festival of Arts like tents were closed, and what else was closed? The food trucks were closed. Nothing was open at the same time at Epcot, so I was really disappointed, but that just means I have to go back, I guess. It was really fun. It rained like literally all day, and it was uncomfortable, but I mean, I was bundled up, so it was doable. And I recommend going to Disney while it's raining and while it's cold, because nobody was there. It was a wasteland basically, and it was just awesome. And then tomorrow, February 2nd, is Groundhog Day, a holiday in which a groundhog comes out of his cave or his hole or mansion or wherever he lives in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, and predicts the weather for the next 6 months or so, or 6 weeks or so. And my prediction is 6 more weeks of winter. Does that mean he's not going to see his shadow? I think that means he's not going to see his shadow because the sun's not out, or else it would be spring. So I don't think, because Pennsylvania, it's probably snowing, so I don't think in the next 6 weeks it's magically going to be spring. So that's my prediction. I have some polls going around on my Facebook page right now. So tell me what you think. We have a good episode this week. I'm going to be talking about the movie Shazam coming out in April. I'm also going to be talking about the Orville, Seth MacFarlane show, the Orville. I feel like I've been watching it since it started. They just started season 2. I feel like I've talked about it before on the show, but maybe not. So I hope it's not a repeat. And then I'm gonna pull up some of the Oscar noms because I think that's coming up soon. They just announced that. So yeah, it should be fun. We'll be right back after this music break. We'll talk about Shazam. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Emily's Playhouse on Hawk Radio. That was I Got You Babe by Sonny and Cher from the movie Groundhog Day. So I thought I'd be a little bit festive today. So with this first movie segment, I am going to be talking about the movie Shazam, coming out in April. Not to be confused with the mobile app that like helps you recognize music songs, or the other movie starring Sinbad as a genie with the same name, which supposedly doesn't exist. Shazam is an upcoming superhero movie based on the character from DC Comics. Fun fact about the character, his original name is actually Captain Marvel. And Marvel Studios, it's funny because Marvel Studios has a movie coming out this year as well called Captain Marvel. No affiliation, but I think it's funny that Marvel's Captain Marvel comes out March 8th, and DC's Shazam comes out April 5th, almost a month apart. So no offense to DC, but their movies are incomparable to that of Marvel Studios, and they're really trying to catch up to them and get on their level. But in my opinion, what DC lacks in movies, they make up for in television programs, so it's all right. Anyway, Shazam will be the 7th film in the DC Extended Universe, or DCEU, following Man of Steel, which is a Superman movie, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, Suicide Squad, boo, Wonder Woman, which supposedly was good, Justice League, and Aquaman, which just came out with Jason Momoa. And supposedly Shazam takes place 2 years after the events of Justice League, which makes sense because it came out about 2 years ago. It's about a 14-year-old orphan boy living in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, not Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, named Billy Batson. He's played by Asher Angel, known from the Disney Channel program Andy Mack. One day, Billy Batson is transported to a different realm via subway, like a subway car, I'm assuming. I don't think he walks into a Subway restaurant trying to order a $5 footlong. But how dope would it be if he did? If he met some kind of like ancient sandwich wizard there who gave him the powers of salami, ham, avocado, zucchini, arugula, and mustard, transforming him into a superhero every time he said eat fresh. Oh my god. Somebody get DC on the phone right now. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. That's basically how it all happens, though. So Billy Batson meets a wizard who gives him the ability to transform into an adult superhero who, I think it's just Zachary Levi playing a yoked version of himself in tights. Every time he says the word Shazam. Zachary Levi plays Chuck from Chuck, by the way, and Fandral from Thor, and Flynn Rider from Tangled. So, yeah, he's hot. Shazam, as I implied a couple seconds ago, is an acronym / mnemonic device to help you remember all the power he wields, the wisdom of Solomon, the strength of Hercules, the stamina of Atlas, the power and libido of Zeus, the courage of Achilles, and the speed of Mercury, and also he can fly, which is dope. So, the movie's about Billy and one of his foster brothers, Freddie. They must learn what Billy's new powers are, why is he turning into Zachary Levi, how to use them in order to stop the villain Dr. Thaddeus Savannah from wielding powers of his own. Dun-na-na-na. But yeah, this movie will be the first film version of the character since the 1941 serial Adventures of Captain Marvel. And it will be the first full-length feature film centered around the character. So good for him. He got a solo movie. Good for him. After Zachary Levi's character in Thor got killed off in Ragnarok, Jesus, deserves it. I'm new to this whole superhero movie thing, so I don't know a whole lot about DC Comics outside of like Teen Titans. That's my generation. But from what I've seen and what I've read about this movie, it feels super retro. Like a classic superhero movie origin story. I'm getting a weird Pee-wee's Playhouse meets Danny Phantom meets Annie kind of vibe from it right now. So, you know, like there's a secret word and he's going ghost and he's an orphan. You see those connections there. Anyway, I don't know I don't know where all this excitement and anticipation for Shazam came from. I haven't really been following anything from it, like through production or the marketing aspects of it. I'm more of a Marvel fan, if anything. But I was planning this month's shows, and in the midst of it all, I woke up and thought, I want to talk about Shazam on Emily's Playhouse this week. And yeah, Olivia and I were joking around about it when she was here last week because I have a bad habit of absorbing my friends' interests and making them my own. And I think this is another personality trait that I've stolen from one of them. So thank you. Let's hear it for the men in my life. Once again, everybody, past and present, thank you for giving me this obsession with Shazam that I didn't ask for. I think it'd be cooler. This movie sounds kind of hokey, but I think that's what they're going for. I could be wrong. But I think it'd be more interesting if he met some kind of sandwich god and was a sandwich superhero. What'd I say? The powers of salami, ham, avocado, zucchini, arugula, and mustard. Shazam. No, every time he says, eat fresh. Because he was transported via subway. You get it? God, that's funny. But yeah, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something important, and then I started thinking about sandwiches. Oh, it's like those Shaggy memes. He turns into, instead of Zachary Levi and Shazam, he turns into Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. That's great. Anyway, it's 12:15. I'm going into another music break. This is one of my favorite songs from one of my favorite Aerosmith albums. Stay tuned. We will be talking about, either for the first time or for the second time, the Orville, Seth MacFarlane's Star Trek knockoff. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. That was What It Takes by Aerosmith, and you're listening to Emily's Playhouse on Hawk Radio. We'll be right back. This is Trade Mistakes by Panic at the Disco. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Emily's Playhouse on Hawk Radio. That was Trade Mistakes by Panic at the Disco. In case you're just tuning in, you just missed my segment where I talked about Shazam, the movie starring Sinbad as a genie. Not really. I talked about Shazam starring Zachary Levi. But how awesome. What if instead of a wizard, it was just Sinbad as a genie giving this kid Billy powers in a subway? If they really want to make a quality movie in 2019, that's what goes down. I don't know about you. Anyway, this next segment, I'm going to talk about Seth MacFarlane's Star Trek knockoff, The Orville. It's a really good show, actually. I've been watching since it premiered, September 2017. And season 2 just started like the end of December, so it's a really good show. So The Orville is an American sci-fi comedy drama series created by and starring Seth MacFarlane. He stars as Ed Mercer, an officer in the Planetary Union's line of exploratory space vessels. After his career takes a downturn following his divorce, he is given the ship Orville as his first command, only to discover that his ex-wife, Kelly Grayson, has been assigned as his first officer. Inspired by several sources, including Star Trek and Twilight Zone, the series tells the story of Mercer, Grayson, and the crew of the Orville as they embark on various diplomatic and exploratory missions. It's really entertaining, and it's Seth MacFarlane, so it's like they get pretty, topical with things. So Seth MacFarlane plays Captain Ed Mercer, who commands the Orville. Mercer was an up-and-coming officer believed to be on the fast track to commanding his own heavy cruiser by age 40. However, he caught his wife Kelly in bed with an alien, and over the course of the following year, he is cited for being lax in his duties and having reported to duty while hungover. He's an alcoholic, and he's just a sad boy. Eventually, he's informed that the Orville, a mid-level exploratory ship, needs a new commanding officer. So he becomes the Captain Kirk of this show. Adrian Palicki as commander, Kelly Grayson, the first officer of the Orville, and Ed Mercer's ex-wife. The two divorced after Mercer caught Grayson in bed with an alien, and it sounds weird when I say it, but yeah, it's weird. Resulting in Mercer's year-long emotional crisis. Unbeknownst to Mercer, Grayson personally appealed to Admiral Halsey for her ex-husband to be given a command, so it's all because of her. He doesn't know that, I don't think. Maybe he does by now. It's season 2, so. Stating that, despite personal setbacks, he merited it. She requested her involvement be kept confidential after Mercer is assigned to the Orville. When Grayson is assigned as the Orville's first officer, she and Mercer agree to set aside their differences to work as a team and stay friends. Penny Johnson-Gerald is Dr. Clara Finn, the chief medical officer on the Orville, holding the rank of lieutenant commander. A physician of exceptional credentials, she has expertise in molecular surgery, DNA engineering, and psychiatry. Psychiatry? I can't English today. Which afforded her a choice of assignments on heavy cruisers. She instead chose a mid-level exploratory vessel. As she explains to Mercer in the pilot episode, she prefers to serve where she feels she is needed, finding such assignments more stimulating. She tells Mercer that she felt he could use her assistance on his first command. He interprets this as her lacking confidence in him, though she discounts this. Having never found the ideal opportunity to marry, she chose to become a single mother. Her 2 sons, Marcus and Ty, travel aboard the Orville with her. She repeatedly rebuffs Lieutenant Yaphet's advances. So they have become physically intimate in Cupid's dagger after falling victim. That has nothing to do with her character. That's just I just spoiled an episode for you. My favorite, Scott Grimes as Lieutenant Gordon Malloy, the helmsman of the Orville and Mercer's best friend. Considered the best helmsman in the fleet, he was relegated to desk duty after he attempted to impress a girl with a precarious shuttle docking, damaging the vessel and losing cargo in the process. Mercer specifically requested he be assigned to the Orville, despite Admiral Halsey's lingering concern over Malloy's history of crude and juvenile pranks. He's generally comfortable with his reputation for limited intelligence to the point where he willingly answers a series of questions from Grayson, with the expectation that his answers would demonstrate in a Mocklin court that males are not always superior to females. I like him. He's like the, comedic relief. Peter Macon as Lieutenant Commander Bortus, the second officer aboard the USS Orville. Bortus is from Moklis. He's an alien. A planet where the primary industry is weapons manufacturing, and whose inhabitants are a single-gender species, although statistically 1 female Mocklin is born every 75 years. Among the peculiarities of the Mocklins are that they urinate only once a year. That episode just happened. Bortus is married to Clyden, a Mocklin, who also resides on the Orville with Bortus and their son Topa. That episode where their son is born is probably one of the best. It's like the second episode of the series, second or third. It's awesome. Halston Stage as Lieutenant Alara Catan, the Orville's young chief of security in seasons 1 and the beginning of 2. Catan is from Zalea, a high-gravity planet that gives her greater than human strength and Earth gravity. She could knock down doors and walls and crush a solid block titanium and reshape it into a small sphere with her bare hands. She receives the Sapphire Star for her role as an acting commanding officer after Mercer and Grayson are abducted by the Caliban during Bortus' incubation of his egg. Sage departed in the series in the 3rd episode of the 2nd season, when her character resigned her post to be with her family on her home planet. So she's gone now, and we're sad. I liked her a lot. She was one of my favorite characters. Jay Lee is later Lieutenant Commander John Lamar. He is navigator of the Orville for most of the 1st season. He and Malloy strike up an immediate friendship in the 1st episode. Though intellectually gifted, he has learned to hide his intelligence and settle for modest ambitions growing up in order to fit in with his peers. When Grayson discovers his high aptitude in the episode New Dimensions, she encourages Lamar to fulfill his potential. As a result, he acquits himself so well that during the episode's crisis, he replaces the outgoing Lieutenant Commander Newton as the Orville's chief commander. And Mark Jackson as Isaac. He's a robot. The Orville's science and engineering officer. Isaac is a member of the artificial non-biological race from 𝘗-1 that views biological life forms, including humans, as inferior. In the pilot episode, Isaac explains to Mercer that the Union's Admiralty offered a position to any willing 𝘗 as an attempt to initiate relations between the two powers. Isaac accepted the offer as an opportunity to study human behavior. During the course of his time with the crew, he comes to observe and understand aspects of human behavior, such as sarcasm, slang, and practical jokes. Isaac perceives his surroundings with his body's internal sensors. His two glowing blue eyes are purely anthropomorphic. And Jessica Zor as Tala Kayali. These names, I'm telling you. The second Zalayan chief of security replaces Alara Catan after her resignation. She's new. I don't know a lot about her. But it's pretty cool. There's a character played by Patrick Warburton who's been on this season, so it's really cool. How many episodes are there? A lot. There's 12 in the 1st season, and there have been like 19, or there have been like 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There's been like 18, 19 episodes so far. So it's a really good show. I recommend it. There's a lot. He said he takes inspiration from like the Twilight Zone and Star Trek, even Guardians of the Galaxy and Deadpool, stuff like that. And there's kind of some Family Guy, American Dad humor in there. It's really cool. The music is really good, and the effects are phenomenal too. I love that the most. But also the story, like each episode, are not really they're not really, what do you call it? They don't connect. Like each episode is like a different like movie, kind of is what Seth MacFarlane kind of described it as. Like it's a new movie every week, and it's just a different adventure. It's really cool. I love shows like that. So awesome show. Check it out. I recommend it. It's on Fox. I don't know what day. I think like Wednesdays, Thursdays at night. But yeah, check out the Orville. It's different from, it's Family Guy humor. It's different. It's like more like Star Trek, but it's Seth MacFarlane, and I don't know. I like him as an actor too, and his singing voice is dope. But yeah, his acting is like outside of like voice acting is phenomenal. So it's really different. If you're looking for something different, definitely watch it. And topical. If you like controversial stuff, check it out. We're going to go into another quick music break, and then we'll talk about the Oscar nominations for this year. I have it pulled up right here. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned. That was Metropolis by Owl City, and you're listening to Emily's Playhouse on Hawk Radio. We'll be right back after this brief music break. This is Hammer to Fall by Queen. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Emily's Playhouse on Hawk Radio, where today we are talking about the movie Shazam and the show The Orville, and now we are talking about the 2019 Academy Award nominations. Oscars, the Academy Awards, right? Same thing. So I have them pulled up here. It says the 91st Annual Academy Awards will air February, that's this month, 24th on ABC. I'm assuming 8, 9 o'clock at night, probs. There is no host. That's the big dealio with the Oscars. I think Kevin Hart was supposed to host, and then he had some kind of beef with the LGBT community, and he stepped down, which is really upsetting because he really wanted to do it, and those tweets were from a while ago, but I'm not going to get into that. There's no host for the first time in a while, but the show must go on. So the nominees for Best Picture include Black Panther, which will probably win, 𝘚𝘅𝑒𝘆𝑚𝑎𝑛, that could win too, Bohemian Rhapsody, which has a huge following, The Favorite, Roma, Green Book, A Star is Born, starring Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, and Vice. Those are all the nominees for Best Picture of the past year. I think I kind of want Black Panther. I liked Bohemian Rhapsody, but I think I kind of want, those are the only two I've seen, to be real. I think I'd rather have Black Panther over Bohemian Rhapsody. Best Director, Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, Yorgos Lanthimos for The Favorite, Spike Lee for 𝘚𝑒𝘆𝑚𝑎𝑛. I hope he wins that one. Adam McKay for Vice, Paul Lukowski for Cold War. Best Actress, Yelitza Aparicio for Roma, Glenn Close for The Wife, Olivia Colman for The Favorite, Lady Gaga for A Star is Born, and Melissa McCarthy for Can You Ever Forgive Me? Best Actor, Christian Bale for Vice, Bradley Cooper for A Star is Born, Willem Dafoe at Eternity's Gate, Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody. I honestly hope he wins because he's Rami Malek is playing Freddie Mercury, so I mean, come on. And Viggo Mortensen for Green Book. There's supporting actresses, supporting actors. Ooh, Sam Elliott is nominated. Adam Driver for 𝘚𝑒𝘆𝑚𝑎𝑛. That's dope. Sam Rockwell for Best Supporting Actor. Best Supporting Actress, Amy Adams, Regina King, Emma Stone. All these talented people. Screenplays, adapted screenplays, makeup and hair, costumes. Oh, there's a lot for Mary Poppins here for costumes. Black Panther should win that too. I'm just gonna this segment is just me going through the nominees and just being like, Black Panther should win that, Black Panther should win that. Best cinematography, best original song. Okay, All the Stars by Kendrick Lamar, Black Panther. I'll Fight 𝘚𝘩𝘢𝘐. That's the Ruth Bader Ginsburg movie. The Place Where Lost Things Go, Mary Poppins Returns. Shallow, A Star is Born, and When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings by The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I hope that Kendrick Lamar song wins. Again, Black Panther. Best Original Score, Black Panther, Black Klansman, If Beale Street Could Talk, Isle of Dogs, and Mary Poppins Returns. I think my prediction is that Black Panther is going to steal the Oscars. That'd be dope. Best Animated Feature, that's what I care about. Into the Spider-Verse should win. Incredibles 2, Isle of Dogs, Mirai, Ralph Breaks the Internet, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Okay, this is what I'm saying right now. A Emily's Playhouse exclusive. If Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse does not win Best Animated Feature, I'm going to eat my pants. For sure. I will do it. I will salt them, and I will eat them. Because it deserves to win. I haven't seen it yet, but it deserves to win. Trust me. Sound, audio. Best visual effects, Christopher Robin, just for Winnie the Pooh. Oh, Infinity War 2 and Solo. Yeah, where are those movies? Where is Infinity War and Solo? Come on. We need more Marvel. Disney. Film editing, best animated short. I don't think I've seen any of these. Oh, Bao. That's the one about the dumpling thing. That's Pixar. Live action shorts, documentary shorts. And that's all they have on here. But it's pretty cool. Yeah. There's a big controversy between, because I follow the voice actors, actors in animation and stuff like that, and they think there should be a I think I've talked about this before on the show. They think there should be a separate category for voice acting, because it's important. It's not just doing voices in a room. It's actual celebrities, that's what they do for a living. So they think there should be a separate category for that. I mean, they have their own award show. They have the Annies, but it's not the same. They deserve Oscars and stuff, Emmys, maybe Grammys. They should get voice acting Tonys. Who knows? Maybe they do voiceover for Broadway shows. They can get. I want a voice actor who can win an EGOT. Maybe I should strive for that. But yeah, they think they should be a category in the Academy Awards for the. Speaking of voice actors, this is just an intrusive thought I just had. I saw an article, I don't know if it's true or not, but I saw an article on Facebook really late last night that said that Roger Bumpus, the voice of Squidward, I've met him before, the voice of Squidward is going to announce the Super Bowl halftime show, and my brain, I was I didn't even connect the thoughts. I just, I was alright, I read it with a straight face, and I was just that makes sense. So if that's true, that's awesome. I really hope he announces the Super Bowl halftime show. That'd be hilarious. But yeah. That's all I really have to say. That intrusive thought threw me off guard. But those are the Oscar nominees. I told you, I think Black Panther's going to sweep, y'all. Bohemian Rhapsody is pretty good too. And, anything Marvel or Disney related is going to sweep. Into the Spider-Verse. Marvel. Spider-Man. That needs to win. Keep your eye out for that. That's going to win. I'm telling you. But yeah, it's the 91st Annual Academy Awards. It airs February 24th on ABC, so check it out. Or don't. I don't know. Award shows are kind of long. But if you're into that kind of stuff, check it out. If you're into movies and sound and video kind of stuff, people being awarded for their hard work, check it out. We have one more music break here before I start to wrap things up, so stay tuned. We will be right back after this. That was Pink by Aerosmith. Playing all the Aerosmith songs today. Welcome back to Emily's Playhouse. I'm getting ready to wrap things up for this episode. Today we talked about the movie Shazam and how Billy Batson got his powers from Sinbad the Genie in a subway. He had the powers of salami, ham, arugula, zucchini, avocado, and mustard. That's right. And together, he makes Shazam. It's going to be a good movie. I'm really excited about it. Or am I? I don't know. It could be just a personality trait. I don't know. But and then we talked about the Orville, Seth MacFarlane's Star Trek knockoff / Twilight Zone knockoff. It's a really intense show. Every episode has me on the edge of my seat, so emotional. Check it out. And also we talked about this year's Oscar nominees, which is coming up on February 24th. I think that's my cousin's birthday for some reason. But yeah, check it out. Black Panther's going to sweep, and so is Spider-Man. It's a good year. Good year for superheroes. What else is coming up? Next Saturday at Hell on Heels Rocky Horror Picture Show, we have a like speakeasy kind of thing that we're trying out. We're gonna have like passwords and like stickers and stuff like that. We're switching things up this week for Valentine's Day, so it's gonna be dope. More info on that as it comes. That's gonna be next Saturday at the Villaggio Cinemas of Carrollwood, 11778 North Dale Mabry Highway, Tampa, Florida 33618. Check it out. Every second and fourth Saturday in 2019, we do the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And Speakeasy Week. Should be exciting. Send me, Valentine's Day is coming up. Send me your favorite love ballads. I'm going to play them on the show. Definitely expect some Aerosmith. Who knows what else? Love songs. I mean, maybe I'll play Seal again. I love that song. Kiss by a Rose. That's the best love song ever. That's straight romance, y'all. But yeah, check out previous episodes on Facebook and on YouTube. My friend Olivia was on last week promoting her show Ragtime. Check that out this month. What else is coming up? State Fair coming up soon. Starter Festival's coming up soon. Be safe. I think Renfest is coming up soon too at Mosey, or behind Mosey. Be safe if you're going to those. Check it out. Tons of things coming up in 2019. Facebook page is Emily's Playhouse on Hawk Radio. Twitter is at Em's Playhouse. And Instagram is at Emily's Playhouse. I am here every Friday from noon to 1 talking about television and movies and entertainment. Next week, I'm feeling like I just saw on Facebook that there's going to be a Big Mouth Valentine's Day special. So I'm probably going to talk about Big Mouth next week. I don't think I've talked about Big Mouth yet. So I'm probably going to talk about that. Might talk about Star Wars. Who knows what other shenanigans I will talk about. You're going to have to just stay tuned. You're going to have to tune in to find out. But yeah, it's 3 till 1. I can see, what's her name, coming in for her show next. So stay tuned to listen to these talented folks. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.